What's going on, world? It's the KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. Back again, the homies, your NRW Trios champions. I'm, of course, Kuya P. I got Sean Mongold, the Fanta Tees.
Hey,
yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all?
And, of course, the man from Sartorial Geek. Hopefully, he ain't gonna freeze up on us this week. But he's sporting the bow tie. He's sporting the bow tie. Mr. Webster Style, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
All right, gentlemen. I think we said it on that last episode last week that we were heading out to AEW Dynamite and Rampage because they were in our area. As of this week, it's the day after as of this recording. So y'all who are checking this out, you're gonna see 2 episodes this week. Just my little behind the scenes of hanging out with the boys and the first lady of NRW, Miss Maki Mongold over there, Sean's lovely wife. We all had a great time at the events last night. So you'll see some of that and just some of our commentary coming up out of that. It was Webster Styles' first AEW event. I don't know if you heard that, Sean, earlier when he was like, oh, snap. Yeah. You and I have been to plenty of AEW stuff, and I was happy that we got Webster Style broken in there last night.
We went to the very first show. I still have the stub from the very first show in 2019, which was here in Washington, D.C. And then also the very first pay-per-view, we went to Full Gear, too, because I was in Baltimore. So a lot of AEW start was coincidentally around the DMV area. Yeah. So that's what's really funny and people don't get.
People forget how big the DMV is for wrestling. I mean, back in the day, WCW, NWA, I mean, it's a rich wrestling legacy in the DMV.
A lot of the NXT people come from MCW.
Yep.
So
I was going to say a second there when you said stub. Don't you guys kind of miss stubs in a way? Like to have like your at least some token of memorabilia to attend the event. So I'm sorry, Webster Style, that I can send you the Ticketmaster email.
It's all good. It's all good.
I wish they would do that. That's something just kind of cool. I actually think I saw some of my old events from when I was a kid going to events in Charleston, South Carolina. It's just cool little mementos, but I hope you had fun, Webster Style.
I had a blast.
You pretty much saw the entire. I think we were chatting about that you pretty much saw everybody but like Moxley and Monet. We won't go there yet.
Everybody who's not injured, I would say, because it went great to see Cope, and we didn't see Christian either.
No.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there'll probably be Cope not since he's, but Christian and the Patriarch and whatever probably be on the House of Black. We didn't see them either.
Nope.
So I think they're more toward Collision. So
yeah, but you got a good amount.
Oh yeah, we got a lot. I mean, AEW has a humongous roster, so I guess it'd be hard to pack everybody between 3 hours of wrestling.
Let me just say, I would look over sometimes and see Elder like just zoned in, just zoned, just watching, and I'm sitting there like this dude next to me is talking to me about all this shit, and I'm just like, Maki's spilling drinks.
Hey, I was telling Webster Style earlier though, Sean. At the event when we first saw him, it was like, who's this teacher up in here? So next time we got to get him all kitted out in gear. Next time, bro, we got to get Webster Style sporting the AEW or whatever wrestling event.
Man, we're gonna get to that part. And I got some comments, but I don't know where you want to start. So I got something to say.
Let's do a little bit of aftermath. So again, everybody check out our coverage, but we got some feelings, some vibes coming off the show that I don't think we fully said afterwards in that recording. So go ahead, Sean.
So let me just preface this by saying, like, when we first got there, we all came in together, right? And like the first thing you see is the merch table. Great situations, great logistically, like it's right in front of you. We waited in that line for like 5 minutes, and then we started looking at the merch, and we were just like, nah. Like this looks like shit that you ordered on AliExpress.
Yes.
That you made on Canva or whatever. Like it was not good merch, man. Like not enough CEO. Like, and like maybe they sold out. I don't know. I don't want to like dog them for that, but like it was just slim pickings, man.
And the
like,
price, bro.
Yeah, $40 for a fucking shirt, dog, for all black, not even color. There was no white shirts. It was like all black shirts. And I'm just like, what are y'all doing? And you know what? It makes sense. I know who does their fucking merchandising, and it makes a lot of fucking sense. And I have no idea how they still have them. I do know why they have them around, but like, I don't know why they are from a business sense. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is one of the Bucks' wives. And
oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's what are you doing? What is this garbage? You've been around for 5 years, and you give us this? The Prince Nana Dance Club was kind of cool. That was the only different looking thing there. Yeah. And the only thing with color was Acclaimed. And that was it. And that was like the only pop of color, man. Like, there's so many things you could have done with, like, the House of Black tea, like nothing from House of Black. Like, Mercedes Moné was just CEO with no color, and it was just, I don't know, man. It was weird.
It was generic. It was very generic.
After 5 years, how are you still that generic? And I just don't understand. And it's just like, all of that shit adds up. All of it adds up to the experience. And people, you know, stands will stand no matter what. And, you know, I do the same thing. Like, I went to a WWE show recently, and same thing. Like, I don't know what it is with the gear, and maybe just the show gear is just not that good. When we went to WrestleMania, I was like, I don't want any of this shit. Like, none of this shit really truly sticks out to me, for especially the price point, man. Like, I was trying to find like a cool rock shirt, and they had one, but it was like tied to WrestleMania. I'm like, no, I just want a rock shirt, dog. Like,
well, it. I would say you can get like regular stuff online, and there's better deals online. What I think is best for these events we go to is make it exclusives. Like, you can only get by attending this event. It makes it, you know, that much more special. And that's what I personally felt we didn't see from the merch table that we got. Definitely I echo your point that it's not very colorful, very bland in its, you know, creation. It looked like stuff they printed last minute, you know, just to have some merch. But I agree with you, brother. I agree with you.
And even that second merch table we walked by was pretty much the same thing.
It was all the same shit.
Yeah, it's nothing inspiring, all the same stuff. It's interesting. I'm thinking about those shirts, and I'm thinking there is nothing there that you literally couldn't pull a high quality image off the line and make it yourself.
True.
Like, there was nothing really unique about any of those designs there.
Definitely. Can we talk my biggest gripe that you gentlemen both know? Express it a little bit there, know. But if anybody at WWE, well, this is AEW right now, and I know AEW folk, so I'm looking at y'all if you're tuning into this KayFabeyBaby episode. Webster Style is kind of a newcomer. This is like your first AEW show, but Sean and I have been to many a wrestling show. And I'm sure you can vouch for this. Whenever you're doing a promotion for a show, do not put people on these promos, cards, any publicity imagery, unless you're going to have these people on the card. I know cards are subject to change, but goddamn it like really felt after like Mercedes Monet was fucking on everything, and she was not on this fucking card, and I'm really upset about it.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed many AEW show. And the main reason I wanted to go there was because of Mercedes, and she wasn't there, and I'm just pissed. I'm pissed.
Yeah,
I was livid last night. I'm kind of like a little bit over. I'm just, it now has me apprehensive going towards the future if this is how AEW is going to market their stuff. WWE, I've never seen them put anybody on their publicity material or promotion stuff that isn't going to be at that show. They don't do that because that's false advertising. Here, AEW in the past, they never did it, but now I don't know who's running their marketing publicity department. Maybe it's one of the elite wives as well, like this merch damn table, but they're fucking up. And I just had to put that gripe, man.
And it sucks because what happens is when they do those promotional posters, you now have kind of an expectation of what you're getting.
Yes.
And for me, I really wanted to see Mercedes. I mean, granted, yes, I love wrestling in general. I love the live atmosphere sometimes, you know. it gets a little bit rocky when you get to larger shows, like, with WWE, AEW, even, Capital Collision when New Japan comes through. When you get to the larger shows, it gets a little rocky because depending on who you're sitting next to, you might have a shitty time. I feel like when you go to like indie shows where it's a lot more like close knit of a community of people, there's not as many seats, so there's not thousands of people. You have a better time, in a weird sense, and that's why I really want to take our group here to like an indie show. We can go to like Flying V's joint, maybe MCW, even though that's a fucking hike for us still, even though Maryland is, I'm in Maryland.
Joppa, right?
It's Joppa, yeah.
Joppa,
Maryland. So it's a hike. And but there's some other smaller ones. There's Prime Time. But yeah, so when you have that expectation, like you're grading the match already in your head. You're grading the show in your head. So like you're expecting it. And then when we kind of got there and then seeing the card release, also the card being released like the day of is getting old, man.
Exactly.
Like get it out there sooner so that I can prepare myself. You know what I mean? Like what if someone brought a Mercedes sign and Mercedes not even fucking there because you're releasing the schedule the day of?
Yeah, it's just how second rate they are compared to WWE now.
Yeah,
it's like you showing yourselves.
Yeah, no, they really are, and it's you got to get to this point, right, where you're critiquing this hard. Like you've been around for 5 years. This is not new stuff. People have had the same complaints for quite some time.
Yes.
I also saw like there's like a restriction on the size of your sign.
It was
too, yeah, and some of the maybe that was just the arena. I don't know if it's AEW specifically. Maybe it was just arena, but like because I have been noticing, obviously going back and watching like all the old shit and like seeing how many fucking signs there are. It's ridiculous, and I do want to give us some credit over here in the DMV because when we looked over to the right and we saw the crowd when Justin Roberts was pointing out signs, I saw quite a few fucking signs. More so than I normally see on Dynamite. So I'm really proud of us for trying, even though there was a limit on the size of the signs. But yeah, man, it's that was very disheartening. It kind of did definitely damper my mood a little bit, knowing I wasn't going to get Mercedes, knowing we weren't getting a Swerve match, knowing we weren't getting a Will Ospreay Bruv match, so it was just kind of like, okay, we get Pac and Claudio. That's cool. But I feel like, cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, hey, here's a wrestling match. Like, I guess there's a little bit of story. They have some history. But, like, I feel like, yet again, the only stories that we got were discombobulated. We got MJF. That was a good match. I'm glad MJF came back. That was the only one saving grace. But since it was at the front of the show, my hype died down very quickly after that. Because now it's just like, oh, I'm happy I got that, but now it's over. And I'm just like, what else am I looking forward to? I don't get Mercedes, so I have nothing that's hyping me up to be here. Now I'm just drinking beer and being squished in a seat because I'm quite a large person. And yeah, man, I just don't get it. And then as the night went on, as you guys saw, like Daniel Garcia had a match, which was a squash match, and then he got jumped. And then it was by Mogul Embassy, but Swerve didn't come out. MJF came out to save Daniel Garcia against Mogul Embassy.
Yeah, and then you got and then Will Ospreay.
And then Will Ospreay came out to save MJF. That it made it seem, but he was like, "No, I'm saving Daniel Garcia." I'm like, "But why?" Also, again, why are you
exactly? So and then the stare down afterwards, like why?
I understand that. Like, oh, people want like you got the stare down between MJF and Will Ospreay, and like that's cool. But like you did all of that just to have that. You made nonsensical decisions, non-storyline driven decisions in order to get the pop of them two facing off. But it doesn't make sense. And I'm not here for the nonsensical, like non-linear story just for the sake of a pop. I'm not here for it. It's got to make sense. There was a way to tie that in a little bit smarter, and maybe it would have taken a little bit more time. But like they're always just like, oh, we got to do this now, and here's how we're going to do it, and people are just going to pop, and people are going to forget about it, and like that might be true. Like I'm pretty sure people don't think that critically into it, but as someone who really thoroughly likes storylines and has been watching wrestling for a very long fucking time, I care about that shit.
Agreed.
But
yeah. I think, Sean, you make a very good point, especially seeing it live. A lot of it, I know we talk about it all the time as far as watching the product and things not really making sense as far as stories, but seeing it live, yeah. And the point what you brought up really exemplifies it. Seems like things are just kind of thrown together. It's like, let's throw this to the wall to get the pop or to see what sticks, and we'll build for that. Because even with the Will Ospreay thing, I'm thinking, why in the hell is Ospreay out here? Like, that means, like, to have this stare down with MJF when you literally have him in a feud right now with your world champion.
Right.
And also, why is your show not built around your world champion?
Right.
I don't like your world champion is like out that one segment that's like your whole show should be built. We go even again, comparisons maybe not the same, but even with just this past week on Raw, the first thing is your world champion.
Yeah.
We go to SmackDown, whether it works or not, everything revolves around Cody, your champion. Swerve gets one segment.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm like, your world championship, the show should be built around him. If he's there, that's who it should be built around. And the fact that it's constantly not, and the world champion is an afterthought through everything that's going on, is crazy to me. And then again, we've talked about the whole Will Ospreay thing as far as that positioning. Okay, so now he's feuding with your world champion. And that whole promo segment was absolutely great. And I actually rewatched it to see like stuff I didn't really hear in the theater, in the arena last night, today on YouTube. But now you're literally, okay, we're going to start setting up with like our top star. Why are you trying to do too much at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah. And what sucks is like, there was something that made sense right there, and they skipped over it for Will Ospreay and MJF. Mogul Embassy just screwed over Swerve a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
He could have came out, since they're trying to make him the face, and saved Daniel Garcia against his former faction, along with Prince Nana. And if you wanted Will Ospreay to come out after Swerve was getting his ass beat, because he's like, hey, I need him good for Forbidden Door, I don't want to get his ass beat, that's also a face move.
Exactly.
Would have made sense. But for whatever reason, they did that face off, and then they had it be MJF instead of Swerve to make the save, which makes no sense because he has no relationship to Daniel Garcia or Mogul Embassy.
Right.
So it's just like, why? Outside of just a pop.
Right.
Which it was a pop, obviously. It's MJF, his music cues, and I love that we have him back, but it didn't make
sense.
No
story.
You could have done that you could have done that anywhere else. You could have done that somewhere else. You know what I mean? And there's a way to fit that in without rushing it like that and just being sloppy, in my opinion. You know?
Absolutely right, man.
And maybe obviously they're setting up for MJF and Will Ospreay. Obviously, it's not at Forbidden Door. Maybe it's all in. Maybe that's the all in match because, hey, bruv. And I don't know. I just like what you were just saying. Like, why is the show not centered around Swerve? Why did we get Swerve one time, who is the world champion, and we get MJF and Will Ospreay twice?
Right.
Who are not champions. Who are not from this area. I mean, neither is Swerve, but they are not, those two are definitely not from our area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it doesn't even make sense in that regard. So I don't know. It's just, it's all very, it was choices, man. And I'm sorry. And like Tony comes out and does his hype thing before the show. And I'm just like, bro, like you're losing your voice. You're coked out. You don't know what you're doing. Like, I think you're so like jaded and so like up your ass now because you have these stands. And you just, your daddy has money, man. Like, you're not getting the deals that you wanted for TV. You're upset, but you're still kind of up your own ass. And you still haven't learned a lesson that you still might need help with creative, because he's still wanting to book the matches he wants to see, which, again, very Vince McMahon like, who didn't really wrestle, who just had money, who was just in it for the entertainment and making book it. Like, you know, like, and to me, like, that's why Triple H is so good. He was a wrestler. He's not a current wrestler, but he was a wrestler. Like, I don't think current wrestlers should be booking matches, but if obviously you should have that experience, but be fully out of it, in my opinion.
Definitely agree. It's been a weird week of wrestling, y'all. Unfortunately, we ran out of time for more talk back in regards to like what's going on with WWE, NXT. We had a little bit of a conversation ourselves at the matches, but we'll talk more next week. But you are getting 2 episodes this week. It's all AEW this week, and just as you can see, our vibes that while we love this additional promotion, you know, the rival to WWE in regards to size, they still got a lot of work, man. And
a quick thumbs up, a quick thumbs up or thumbs down for Wyatt 6.
Oh yeah. Wyatt 6.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah,
real quick. Thumbs up,
definitely.
Right?
Thumbs
up.
up.
Yeah, definitely thumbs up.
I'm curious where it's gonna go.
I'm loving.
Yeah, Sean and I were talking about like Gable. Is Gable now dead?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll have to have this conversation next week. Unfortunately, because of time and our recordings, we got to cut it short. But AEW this week. Let us know in the comments. Let's talk about what AEW needs to improve. And there's obviously a lot now. If you would have asked me, and I'm sure you too, Sean, back in the day when we had the double shows, when actually Dynamite and Rampage were 2 different shows, 2 different nights, I thought they were firing in all cylinders. There was some good stuff going on, a lot of potential. But now I have to say, my experience last night, since then, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. Well, even like we talked about yesterday, I enjoyed Rampage more than I did Dynamite yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, and that's rare to say. Like, I don't really watch Rampage like that anymore because it feels like the C show, right?
Yeah.
But like
now it really feels like the DE show.
Yeah, but like but live watching it though, like I felt like I remembered more from Rampage than Dynamite, because after MJF, the MJMS, I was just like, who was the main event? Oh yeah, Pac and Claudio. I forgot that. Great match, but
it felt like it went on forever in some parts.
Yeah,
with Dynamite, and Rampage was like,
go,
real quick matches, get in, get out. I think it was a bit more memorable in that regard. But yeah, I agree. I think seeing it live, the one thing I will say this about this, we got to cut out. I don't know how, because I felt a lot of excitement there, and I just personally just in the crowd. I don't know what they're doing where a lot of that excitement doesn't translate to the product on TV. Because even watching clips during the course of the day, a lot of what I saw, that energy, just they're not doing a good job of translating that on TV. Because we talked about the arena, and it's a smaller arena. And when we were buying tickets, we're like, why is this one side kind of like blocked off? Well, it wasn't blocked off when we got there. And the arena, at least for the camera sides, was absolutely packed. Yeah. It was packed, and people were excited. Yeah. And watching clips from the shows during the course of the day, particularly this morning, I did not feel that energy in the clips. Also, I think it was more or less how it was shot as well. Like the way the production just doesn't give me the energy of a live crowd compared to a WWE or even a TNA for that matter. Like, I see and feel the energy in the course of what they're doing and how their production, how they demonstrate. Some of that is lost in AEW, how they do things, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it was loud.
Yes, very.
Like, people were chanting.
Like, my voice, so between that and work stuff, just like, my voice still hasn't recovered.
Yeah. So I don't know what it is, man. And they're still learning. It feels like they're still learning, but after 5 years, you're still learning.
They should be a lot farther along than where they were. I think they regressed, but that's a whole. We can go even on another conversation. These guys, I believe they've fully regressed, because I had good times because I was with y'all, but the show, man, that wasn't $70 worth of my money.
No, they're not upgrading. They're not improv. Like, they're keeping all their same people, and they're not being innovative. They're like, oh, this is our core group, we're going to keep it our core group. Oh, you leave, you're an outsider, you're a mark, you're a coward. And that's like the cult following that they have. Like, oh, we hate CM Punk because he's evil. We hate Cody Rhodes because he's evil. He left. All the people left. Andrade, fuck Andrade. And it's just like that's a cult, man. Enjoy, like, let these people live. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Stop.
All right, y'all. Weird times in wrestling, but also some great times in wrestling. It's crazy. So there's your AEW talk this week. We'll get back to AEW again next week, along with WWE, NXT, TNA. And just to let you know, if you see from my background, if you're not following Jordan Grace and a bunch of her friends, they're off in Costa Rica right now. This made me smile this morning. So go check out Jordan Grace. This is a bunch of our favorite NXT email and some other ladies. Go check out Jordan Grace's Twitter, follow her, and shout out to Jordan. And I think one of these is Misha Slamovich, and I don't know who the other two are.
But
Masha, yeah.
Okay, there you go. But
Masha,
let that put a smile on your face. Another AEW, KayFabeyBaby episode, all AEW this week. Good times with my brothers, Webster Style, Sean Mongold. Let's get up out of here because we got other recordings we got to do. Sean, what's going on with you? What's up? When is Fantasy coming? We came out of a weird booty. Now we got a Fantasy.
Yeah, Fantasy is our all interactive audience members fantasy D&D show. It's really, really fun. We did it last year as our second one, but this is coming up on the 20th of July. So tickets have been released. If you go on to Eventbrite, look up Fantasies, or follow us on Instagram at the Nerdless Fest. Check us out. Have a good time. It's really fun. They always sell out, and it's just a ball, man.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And Webster Style, what you got going on at Sartorial and Geek?
Man, it is a light week. I just published Style Essential on Monday, and probably going to be quiet for the rest of the week. It's been a lot between all this as well as work, so we probably won't get anything from me until next week. But look for a new podcast, some other things that I got in the can.
Definitely. All right, y'all. Webster Style, my man Sean Mongold. Crazy, wild times in the world. But I hope you're out there. You're experiencing the world like these lovely ladies are in Costa Rica. Just make sure you put some suntan lotion on and drink a lot of water. It's your boy Kuya P, Webster Style, Sean Mongold. We're out of here in a 1, 2, 3. Peace.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Well, you're not gonna bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm gonna eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.
I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
You can hide behind that commissioner stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, that's interesting.
Corey boy, I'm coming hard.